General nominations were handed out by the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, President Andrzej Duda. General Wiesław Kokuła became Chief of the General Staff and General Maciej Klisz became the Operational Commander of the Armed Forces. Some people want to serve the homeland and deserve to be able to fulfill themselves and to be able to show what they can really do. I congratulate the General on this appointment. This is a position of great responsibility. The Chief of the General Staff is the first soldier of the Republic of Poland. General Thomas Piotrowski, Commander of Operations of the Armed Forces, and General Raymond Andrzejczak, Chief of the General Staff of the Polish Army, have resigned from their posts. The decision of the commanders to resign was discussed at a meeting of the National Security Council. If the generals yesterday decide to apply for termination of service, to discard the uniform, such a decision will be accepted by the head of the armed forces. Last December, a Russian missile fell near Bydgoszcz. General Thomas Piotrowski allegedly failed to report the incident and to take appropriate action. There is also a report by the Supreme Audit Office, managed by Mr. Marian Banash, already announced where the people who neglected their duties are clearly indicated there, and it is certainly not the Minister of National Defence. There is no consent to drag the Polish army into an election campaign. There is no consent to bring chaos to Poland in a special situation, an emergency situation. The fact that a Russian missile violated Polish airspace was also exploited by the opposition. Donald Tusk then tried to have the head of the Ministry of Defence, Mariusz Błaszczak, resign. The first decision that should be made on Saturday or Sunday is, of course, the resignation of Minister Błaszczak. In addition, Tusk asked commanders to oppose the dispositions of the Minister of National Defence. I call on the Polish generals not to be made into scapegoats. The matter is too serious. The decisions made by the generals 3 days before the pre-election ban on campaigning are part of Donald Tusk's election campaign, a pillar of which is criticism of the ruling camp. In May, there were these incidents where there was talk of conflict and so on. It was a good time for them to resign if they did not agree with the policy of the Minister of National Defence, or if they could not get along. They could have waited that week and resigned after the elections, so as not to tie the army into a political context in any way. This actually strikes the security of Poland, a sense of instability, disunity, and that's where there is a military operation in Israel, when a military contingent is evacuating Polish citizens from there. Meanwhile, today, the head of Civic Platform announced that 10 high-ranking officers of the General Command were to resign, but this was quickly dismissed. A while ago, I received information about the resignations of another 10 high officers of the General Command. None of the senior officers of the General Command of the Armed Forces have resigned. These generals knew that if law and justice won, they would no longer hold on to their positions. On the other hand, the reaction of Donald Tusk and his cronies, as well as of the tacitly appointed platform staff, i.e. TVN, proves that there is a deal already agreed upon in the case Tusk takes power. Decisions on the appointments of the new commanders were made by the President in consultation with Defence Minister Mariusz Błaszczak. The BBN said that the changes in positions will not adversely affect the continuity of command and the conduct of operations.